Okay, if I were to play a famous rock and roll riff, hoping that you'd be able to recognise it, I might play. And I think most people would say, oh, he's playing Black Dog. If I heard someone in a bar play that, I'd go, oh, Black Dog. I love Black Dog. Yeah. But it's a song of layers. As any Zepp fanatic will tell you, right from the right. So if we start with that bit, right, when the album came out, when Led Zeppelin 4 came out, that's the first thing you hear. You know, if you got the record on your mono record player, or if you're lucky to have a stereo, the first thing you hear is this sound. And at the time, Jimmy Page was asked about it. What is that sound? What is that thing you do right at the start of Black Dog? And he was a bit circumspect, and he said, look, let's just call it, I'm paraphrasing here, let's just call it Warming Up the Band, right? And it's the subject of much debate. I've played it live quite often by taking my pick and bouncing it on there. Now again, if I was sitting in a bar and it's between songs and the guitarist goes, I would probably take a drink of beer and go, great, I'm going to play Black Dog. You make it slightly more accurate by pulling up the volume at the same time. Now here's what I think is on the record. I think Jimmy Page, and I've no way of knowing this, what it sounds to me from hearing like old Marshalls and what happens when you switch them on is the valves take a bit of time to warm up. So if you imagine, I'm going to click on the amp now, like on, off, standby, right? It does this. You see what I mean? So the valves seem to come to life. It's a lovely feeling, it's a fantastic feeling. You play into a Marshall, it's on, the light's on, you play a chord. Why isn't it on yet? Click it, from standby to on, and you're here. So I've always wondered if maybe Jimmy was standing there, with his Les Paul, and somebody clicked on the amp, and that's what he heard, and checking if the amp was on, he was going. So I don't know, but that would be my thinking, right? So without being overly analytical, except I'm going to do some of the bits I think are like the sort of secrets in Black Dog, right? So we've got that bit. Now, as I say, the opening riff, you usually hear people go, right? I don't think that's the last chord. I think the last chord is. Hear the difference, right? Now to get that, what you do is you play an A chord with an extra A, like Paul Kossoff's All Right Now chord, sorry. Like Paul Kossoff's All Right Now chord, right? The A with the low A, but to get it, you pull the low E from an A flat. So you do this. And it'll flange and, it's just this big, massive sound. So instead of, you would get then Robert Plant starts singing. So that's the first, if you like, deep dive. That's one little bit, and it's not the secret of the universe, but I've seen 100 bands play Black Dog without that chord, and I think it's definitely there. So we'll move on to the next secret of Black Dog in a minute.